Good afternoon. This is Clipper editor Justin Graber with your headlines for Friday, November 6th. The only meeting that happened this week was the school committee. They met Wednesday and touched on a number of issues, including the budget, swine flu, and MCAS. Swine flu, which in most of the literature is being called the H1N1 virus, doesn't sound as cool though, has been circulating through Duxbury as well as many of the surrounding committees. Duxbury, according to Superintendent of Schools Susan Skeever, hasn't had any confirmed cases of the disease, but Skeever said that's more a function of the fact that doctors aren't really testing for it than it is any indication that kids don't have it. So it's definitely something the schools are concerned about. They've sent a letter around asking parents when they would prefer to do a flu clinic through the schools, and that we'll let people know when that gets set up. Also, it's been causing a bit of an absentee problem in the schools. For example, on October 1st, the Alden School has had an absentee rate of 1%, and then on the 3 days starting with October 30th, that rate jumps to 8, 9, and 16%. Those numbers seem pretty similar across all the district schools, slightly less at the high school. And Skeever said there's no change so far in the staff absentee rate, but this is obviously something the schools are concerned about and keeping their eye on. The big MCAS news is that since the special education subgroup at Alden has failed to meet the federal adequate yearly progress standards for the 5th year in a row, the school must undergo a mandatory restructuring period. This can take several forms, including state takeover or even mass firing of the staff, anybody that has to do with No Child Left Behind or MCAS, which is pretty much everybody. However, so far the district has chosen a different path, which includes substantial reforms, things like updating the curriculum and things like that. So we'll keep you updated on that as well. Other things happening around this week, the World War I Memorial is starting to take shape. Anybody who stops by the front of Old Town Hall can see the concrete foundation has been poured. That's where the granite monument will go once it comes back from a restoration company in Quincy that's putting it back together. This weekend there's a number of events going on. You can find the full listing at the Clipper calendar in the paper. There's a Red Cross blood drive at the Senior Center on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. There's also a fall foliage walk at the Bennett Conservation Area off Union Bridge Road, and that's starting at 1 p.m. on Sunday. I was called by somebody this week who let me know that there are some posters circulating about town that have the wrong address for that conservation area, but it is Union Bridge Road, and the announcement in the Clipper has the correct information, so if you're confused, you can look at that. Next week, Monday, there's no selectmen's meeting, but the big meeting will be a public forum on the school's start time issue. That's starting at 7 p.m. in the Duxbury High School Student Lounge. So that's it for the headlines. See you next week.